She confessed. But it's what she confessed to that left investigators stunned, and an entire fanbase shattered. After weeks of speculation, silence, and growing unease around the tragic car crash that took the lives of football star Diogo Jota and André Silva, a single emotional confession from Rute, Diogo's partner, has finally cracked the case wide open. And what she admitted could change everything we thought we knew about this mysterious accident. But that's just the beginning. Because shortly after, María Rodriguez, the grieving wife of André Silva, broke her silence. What she said on social media sent shockwaves across Europe. She didn't just point fingers. She demanded justice. Before we dive into this tangled and emotional web of grief, guilt, and possible betrayal, we want to ask you, our community, to take a moment and subscribe to this channel. We don't cover stories for views. We cover stories because they matter, because the truth deserves to be heard. If you believe every voice deserves justice, if you want to stand with the unheard, and if you think we should never forget the names behind the headlines, then hit that subscribe button now. You're not just joining a channel. You're becoming part of a movement. Now, let's get into what really happened. It wasn't leaked. It wasn't speculation. It was real. According to sources close to the investigation, Rute, Diogo Jota's longtime partner, confessed during her official interrogation. She came in with tears streaming down her face, and a secret that had been eating her alive. With investigators sitting across from her, she admitted what she believed led to the crash. She said Diogo had been suffering from a serious lung infection, something not even the media knew about. His doctor had given strict orders, daily medication, morning and night. Rute had been entrusted with managing that routine. But the night before the accident, something went terribly wrong. According to her own words, she was groggy, half asleep. Diogo had gotten up early to leave. In her drowsy state, she prepared his meds, but accidentally included 2 sleeping pills. Not 1. 2. She believes that those pills, mixed with his condition, may have caused him to fall asleep behind the wheel. Her exact words? "I was sleepy. I didn't even realize. I just wanted to help. I didn't mean to." But that wasn't the whole story. Behind the scenes, Diogo was battling a health crisis. A lung infection that required strict treatment, carefully timed medication, and rest. But being a public figure, especially an athlete at his level, meant showing strength, not weakness. So, he hid it. No one in the press, or even many close friends, knew what he was going through. The public thought he was simply resting due to a minor injury. But privately, he was on a delicate medication plan. A plan that couldn't tolerate mistakes. Which makes what happened next all the more tragic. Diogo left the house, he was exhausted. But what neither he, nor Rute, realized was that he had been given sleeping pills. 2 of them. He hit the road. According to early reports, Diogo's car didn't slow down. There were no signs of swerving, no attempts to brake. Just a quiet, smooth trajectory. The investigation team now believes he may have been asleep when the impact occurred. A terrible mistake. But some believe it wasn't just a mistake. Just days after Rute's confession, María Rodriguez, widow of André Silva, broke her silence. And her message? It wasn't one of forgiveness. She took to social media, uploading a raw, emotional video. In it, she didn't hold back. Her voice trembled as she said, "Rute's irresponsibility didn't just take 1 life. It took 2. My husband was used like a sandwich." She wasn't done. In the same video, María made claims that stunned viewers. She said Rute had allegedly forced Diogo to get married, knowing full well that his health was deteriorating. She knew, Maria said, she knew he was sick. She knew he was suffering. But all she cared about was securing the money, getting the legal documents signed before he was gone. She went on to accuse Rute of using both men, Diogo and André, to serve her own interests. Calling the incident more than just a mistake, she demanded that the authorities take this confession seriously. She should be punished, Maria said. This wasn't a slip-up. This was a pattern. And now 2 good men are gone. Within hours, Maria's video racked up hundreds of thousands of views. But then, it vanished. Sources say the Spanish investigative team contacted Maria and requested she take it down. The case was still open. Emotions were high. Public opinion was spiraling. Still, screenshots and clips of the video continued to circulate, and fans weren't ready to let this story die. On Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, hashtags like Justice for Diogo and Punish Rute began trending. People weren't just sad anymore. They were angry. As of now, no formal charges have been filed. But with this emotional confession, and the now public allegations, the investigation is reportedly expanding. Maria Rodriguez has requested that Rute's confession be used as evidence in a criminal negligence case. Whether that will happen remains to be seen. But public pressure is mounting. The story isn't fading. What started as a tragic car crash is now spiraling into something far bigger, a tale of silence, suffering, and possibly manipulation. Rute's confession may have been honest. It may have been heartfelt. But for some, like Maria, it's not enough. And for the millions of fans who follow Diogo and André, this story now lives in the space between heartbreak and rage. Was it just a mistake? Or was something more sinister hiding behind the scenes? We'll keep following this story, not just because of the headlines, but because behind those headlines are real people, real lives, and real pain. What happened on that highway wasn't just a tragic accident. It was the unraveling of secrets that had been buried for far too long. And as each day passes, more layers are being peeled back, exposing a reality that's harder to accept with every revelation. The pain of losing someone suddenly is unbearable. But the pain of knowing their death might have been preventable? That kind of grief doesn't fade, it haunts. Families are left not only mourning but searching for answers. Fans are left wondering how such a promising life could be cut so short, and why those closest to him didn't protect him better. Sometimes, the people we trust the most, the ones who stand beside us, who smile in our photos, who say they care, are the very ones who carry the deepest betrayals. It's a painful thought. But as this story continues to unfold, one thing is becoming heartbreakingly clear. The truth doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes, the most devastating truths come from the people we loved the most. The silence can be deafening, especially when it shrouds the truth. And when that silence is broken, the echoes of what's revealed can shatter everything we thought we knew. That's the unsettling reality we're facing with this case, a tragedy compounded by secrets, accusations, and a desperate search for justice.